Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to Facebook Live with Northampton Wool's Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, the owner of Northampton Wool's here in Northampton, Mass. And I'm here today to talk to you about several different things. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I hope that we get through this with no more problems ever again. Wouldn't that be fun? What a morning weather-wise, right? Boy, we had those thunderstorms roll through this morning, one right after another, lots of lightning and pouring rain. But now it looks like the sky is lightening up and we're supposed to have a really nice afternoon. So far, our morning has been not only busy, but very productive. I want to catch you up on our POS drama. We got a label maker, and we're able to finally figure out how to make the labels for the yarns that do not already come with the barcode. And that's what you're going to see Beth in the background doing. So one of our favorite yarns now, Rios, does not have a barcode on it. And so that means that we need to print out stickers and put a sticker on every one so that when our POS system is up and running, we'll be able to just scan those in and it'll tell us how much inventory we sold, what color is the most popular, and all kinds of information like that.
What they publish.
So we are almost flying with happiness that we finally got that done. Because now we can tag all of the 330 skeins of Rios that we got in. We can stock it on the shelf and we'll be ready to go with that. That's just one of many of the yarns that we're going to have to do that to. But speaking of that, you do not need to wait. It's not going up on this website. It will be on our new website. If you want to see the colors in person, you can come on in and you can buy them. And on Friday, we had a little moment with that particular yarn. We had a woman in who had learned to knit here. She told me that she had learned to knit in one of our Learn to Knit in 3-hour classes a couple of years ago. And she had spent this past couple of years making hats and scarves, and she was ready to try to make her first sweater. So we found a pattern that she liked on Ravelry, a fairly simple sweater that she was ready to try to make, and we showed her several different yarns that she would be able to use. And as she was kind of wandering around the store, she stumbled upon the bags of Rios that were still in boxes and saw a color that she really, really liked. And she said, read the label and said, "Oh, Arco Iris, will I be able to use this one?" And of course it was all the right yarn. It was the right weight, it was the right needle size for her, it was going to give her the right gauge. And Rios is a really soft, colorful, and machine washable wool. So it fit all of her parameters. At the same time that she was looking, we had one of our favorite customers come in. She's probably on, although I can't see who is, so you know who you are. And she came in with a little list of things that she had heard me talk about. And as I was speaking with this first sweater customer, Kate was helping this customer with her list, and customer number 2 heard customer number 1 say Arco Iris, and she said, "Oh, that's on my list." Well,
Uh-oh.
that's right. It could have been disaster in any other place, but there are moments like this when I just say the knitting gods watch over us, because customer number 1 only needed 8 skeins for her sweater, and customer number 2 was looking for 2 skeins to combine with another color on her project. So we opened the bag. Customer number 1 took her 8 skeins, customer number 2 took her 2 skeins, and everybody, including me, was happy. So those are moments that make this job of mine really fun and really work out well. I am so glad that that worked out for everybody and that everybody will be happy. So if you hear me talking about something, make a list, bring it in, and that makes it a whole lot easier on Kate and I, or who's ever in here, because even I can't always remember what the heck I talked about 2 weeks ago. So write it down, and that will help us focus and get you going on that. So equilibrium was restored in the yarn universe, and we went on to the next phase of it. There was no yarn envy. It happened. It was great. So one of the things that I want to remind you of, this is the last time I'll be talking to you from the store for the next couple of weeks. I will be doing a Facebook Live from our hotel room out in San Diego next week. And I don't know exactly how long it will be or what I'll be talking about, probably the stuff that I'm knitting. I am getting ready for that trip. I'm starting to pack, and the very first things that I pack, of course, are my knitting, because I am scared to death that I will die of yarn or knitting starvation anytime I go away. So I know that there are yarn stores almost everywhere, and I would be able to find something, but I need to know that I've got enough projects. I divide my stuff up into airplane knitting and knitting on the beach or knitting at my son's home, so that I have different levels of projects that I'm going to be doing. And I am starting to prepare for that. In fact, tomorrow I will be home packing the knitting suitcase and then getting the clothes suitcase ready. And you know that I've been talking about our KAL, which is Beach Days. I'll give you a little reminder of what that is. We've got a number of people that are already signed up. It's a great stash project. If you've got fingering weight, 3 colors of fingering weight, you just need a skein of each at about 400 yards each to make this, and you can join us. We'll be doing that 10, 11, 12. We'll be doing it at 12 o'clock on a Zoom call next Monday. That'll be our start. And then at 12:30 doing the Lunch with Linda live. So I have already started one of these so that I can kind of prep myself for the pattern, see what kinds of things might make people get stuck or have questions, so that I'll be able to help that first half-hour session as everybody gets going with it. And I've just chosen 3 other colors because I will make a second one. I will start this one with all of you on that Monday and hopefully be able to finish it and leave it for my daughter-in-law. So she is a real graphic person and, of course, a real LA girl. So I'm going to do it in these colors for her. And hopefully she will be able to enjoy it. I'll be able to leave it there.
Ooh, it's glitzy.
And have it done. It has a little glitz in it, yeah. Because really, the only time she'll use something like this is at night when it's cool and when they are going out. So it's not too late if you want to sign up. Just send me an email. I'll take your email and we'll get you included in that list. It's going to be a pretty easy, straightforward thing to do. So you've heard me say that the Shop Hop is on again this year. We're doing it August 10th through the 21st. And there are only 9 shops participating this year because we have lost a couple of shops in the meantime. But the passports are $5, and you get one of our new Shop Hop canvas bags for it. And one of the fun things that's happening this year is really different. Rachel from U&U down in Windsor contacted 4 Connecticut podcasters, and all 4 of them jumped on board with her, and they are individually traveling to all 9 stores right now to do little interviews with each of the shop owners. And so Saturday, I was really happy to have Isabella, or Bella as she's called, from Fiber and Fox podcast here doing a little interview. She took pictures and did a little video interview with me, and she'll be putting that together for her podcast that will probably air at the beginning of August. That sort of seems to be what's happening. All of the podcasters are trying to see us all in the next month so that they can edit it and have it be part of their August podcast. All of us stores are also giving each one of those podcasters a special gift. We're not giving, like, I'm not giving one to all 4 of them, but check their podcasts out. In the meantime, in August, they will have a special gift representative of 1 or 2 of the stores to give away. So it was a lot of fun to have Bella here and to be interviewed at that kind of level. She's a sweetheart of a woman who is mainly a crocheter. She does knit, but she does do a lot of crochet and is doing some really fun and different and special crochet designs. So you'll want to look for her. Fiber and Fox. She's on Instagram and she's on Instagram and probably Facebook, although I don't remember her saying that. But Fiber and Fox is the name of her. So Bonnie asked me what the sparkly yarn is called. Of course, I forgot to name it, but it is the Electrolyte from Plymouth Yarn. It has 425 yards in each skein, so there's plenty of yarn. You'll only need 1 of each color to do it. And that's what I wanted to talk about for the podcast. As far as what have I finished lately, well, I do a lot of custom knitting, and I just finished this sweet little sweater for one of my regular consignment people who asked me to make a sweater for a baby, and they don't know what the baby is yet. So her mom came in and picked out these fun little penguin buttons.
Aww.
There's a big contrast between those buttons and the color of the buttons and the color of the sweater, but I think they work because they really stand out. There's a tiny bit of yellow in the penguin beak, but it really makes this sweater fun. This is basically the 5-hour baby sweater. If you're any kind of knitter, you can usually get it done in 4 hours instead of the 5. I knit it in the Plymouth Select Superwash Merino, and it's been through the washer and dryer once already in preparation for them to pick it up. So that is a really quick, fun little gift. If you have a shower coming up that you need to prepare for, it's a great little thing. And usually with this, there's really only one size on the pattern, and there's enough yarn left over to make a little pair of booties, which I will do tonight to finish that off. The other knitting that I finished was the Gusto cowl. Now I put a picture of this, and Eileen sent her cowl to us to borrow for a while. So this is knit with the Gusto sock yarn, and this was knit by Eileen. She did 200 stitches on a size 4 needle, and her gauge is about 6 stitches to an inch because I measured it. And that's what happened all the way around the cowl, is this color work pulled up. And when I saw it, she sent me a picture of it, I fell in love with it. And I was like, all right, the big question is, does that happen with every skein? So I took a skein of it, and I did 200 stitches on a size 4 needle, and I knit away at my gauge. When we measured the gauge, it came pretty close. I was 6 stitches in some places and 5 in another, and you can see that the hint of this color pooling is there, but it did not pool as much as, Kate, can you point to it, because I can't.
Yeah, kind of like, hold it, yeah, so it goes like this,
yeah,
this.
So we're still getting the color lining up in those arrows, but it's not lining up on top of each other in the same way that Eileen's did.
Yeah, there's like a little triangle there.
And when I knit mine longer, I'm not sure, Eileen, if you're there, did you use up the whole skein, or did you just make it the length that you wanted it to be? Because I kept going, and I still didn't use up the whole skein. I still have yarn left from the green, so you could make it really deep and more narrow. But I wanted to see what happens with different knitters, because it could also be the way the color is dyed. So the colors can be dyed with different amounts, which causes them to line up. So we're going to try it one more time. Kate is going to do it, and we've narrowed it down to 3 colors. So tell me what you think we should do. This is going to be color number 1. It doesn't have a name. So we're going to call this one the light turquoise, because there's a turquoise to gray speckle in there, and to this kind of
It's kind of a
rosy
sophisticated red, white, and blue.
pink. Yeah, exactly. Not quite red, white, and blue, but in that family. And then this Gusto color has brighter turquoise and pinks and a shot of that bright yellow in it. I think that one will be really pretty. It will really show up if it lines up. And then this is my favorite. This pink and green and yellow, I think will also look stunning. So cast your vote right now. 1, 2, or 3. I've got them lined up like that. 1, 2, or 3. Just pick one, and we'll have Kate knit it and see what happens with her knitting. Because it can be one of 2 things or more. It's the difference between knitters. It can be a difference in gauge, even though they seem to measure pretty close to the same thing. There's something called an overall gauge, so it can be 6 in one spot and 5 in another. It could be blocking, and it could have be related to how the dye actually ends up on the skein. So Kate is taking a tally right now, so cast your vote. 1, again, 2, or 3, and we'll see which one you guys think we should do. So there is that, and that will be on our needles. So that brings me back to the Facebook Lives. For 3 weeks, I'll be coming to you from vacation, and we'll still have lots to talk about, but you won't have this background. But I am planning something very special, so I'm not going to tell you what, because it's going to be a big surprise. So stay tuned, because if everything falls in place, it's going to be really, really thrilling for, I think, all of us to do. So one last thing is something new that we got in this week, and this is something very precious. It's what I put the title of this, or description of this, in. There are all kinds of knitting tools, and some of them are just workhorses that we use over and over and over again, and they don't end up having to be anything fancy. And then there are those little little treasures that are very, very precious, that just make us smile every time we use them or touch them. And with the number of makers out there now, we're getting more and more of those special kinds of things. And so I went ahead and ordered this. Now this won't appeal to everybody, but I got a little bit of this stuff in because I just thought it was so neat. This is Firefly Designs, and one of the things she makes are these little tins. And what she actually does is the resin coating on the top. So she takes a picture or print or wallpaper or wrapping paper, wherever she's getting the design from, and then coats it, glues it to the top of the tin, and then coats it so that it actually has some weight to it and it's shiny. This one is sheep and pigs. So what I see are the sheep, but there are pigs on that top as well. And it's just a small little container.
It looks like an encyclopedia drawing or something.
Yeah, I think she did get it from some kind of poster like that. And the cover just slides on and off. So it's a great little treasure keeper for all of your little knickknacks. A sewing needle would fit in there, and lots of stitch markers. And she also does, many of them, and like I said, I just got a couple just to kind of twinkle our toes in this and see what kind of reception we get. But this one is called Shiny Things, and it has a crow because they collect shiny things. And again, this is the small one.
That's the one I got, and I love it.
I was unpackaging these, and we sold several of them right away. And then there's a larger size, and so far in the larger size, I just got the bunny. But this is like a regular Altoid container size. but it has that resin decorative top. So like I said, it's a great little notions keeper. We've got a few of them in. So next time you come in the store, they'll be in a basket up at the top. But the other thing that she makes that we also got in are these really precious stitch markers. So the first one that we got are the honeycomb, and these are the 10 millimeters. So they would go on up to a size 10 needle and fit comfortably on that. And in that package, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. And then she also includes a progress keeper, which in this case is this little silver bead.
Aww.
Isn't that sweet? So this, the way progress keepers work is there's a little hook on them, so they hook onto, thank you, Kate. They actually hook onto your knitting, so you can keep track of the last time that you increased and measure up from there, or the right side of your fabric. Kate is using the honeycomb stitch marker on her hat pattern, so it's a really sweet way of, that's not going to get in your way of keeping track of where you are, or just decorating your knitting, so that when people say, what are you knitting, they can also go, ooh, that is so cute. So we got in the honeycombs, and then we also got in stars. And they're packaged really well. So the stars are a smaller size. So they would probably fit up to a size 6 needle. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh. And
Sweet little stars.
they're not
gold.
sharp.
They are not sharp. Nope. They're not going to catch on the knitting. There's no like little opening that you get sometimes with jump rings.
Mm-hmm.
These are solid pieces, little stars, and her progress keeper in the stars is this tiny little silver star.
Oh.
Oh, what size needle is that?
I think it's a 7. No, it's a 6.
Okay, so the star fits with some room to spare on
Yeah.
that size 6 needle as well.
Mm.
So we've got these here. They're not inexpensive. They're for special. That's why I call them precious. They're not outrageous, but you will want to check them out when you come in. It's a nice way to treat yourself to something really, really good. And then the very last thing that I want to tell you about again, or remind you about, Gia paid us a visit this weekend. This is probably the last time that we'll get new masks in. So if you are still, and I think you do need to be prepared to still have a mask around, we've got a number of these in. She brought us 24 of these. They're all medium sizes. And these are the prints that we've got this time. And I know I'm going to have to wear one on the plane, so I'm probably going to refresh and go out there with something brand new.
I think this peach one would look so good on you.
I know, that peach one I think is calling my name. And one really fun one for all the guys out there, these antique or precious cars. So we've got 23 now, I think, because I think we did sell 1 or 2. So we've got them, and like I said, that probably will be our last batch, because it seems like we're heading in the right direction. All right, you guys, who won?
Number 2.
Number 2. All right. So this is the color that Kate is gonna be knitting,
Woohoo!
and she'll post, I think, on Instagram and Facebook. If nothing else, I don't know that I can talk her into doing a Facebook Live, but that's what we'll do. And sometime today, this is just a really quick tease, sometime today, Lisa is coming in, and Lisa has started her company called Bloom, and we are about to bloom because she's bringing us all of her spun and naturally dyed. She uses plant dyes, dyes yarn. So I may just pop on here again on Friday. When Kate is here again, we'll do a little bit of a goodbye so long, see you Monday from California. And I'll be able to show you what the bloom looks like, and hopefully take one of those with me to do a model for the store. All right, you guys, time to go knit something. It's still pretty cloudy out there. It looks like we might have some more rain. Perfect afternoon, nice and cool outside. Knit an Afghan so that you get warm while you're knitting it. But definitely, go knit something. Bye, everybody.